Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on the 23 Norden. But before we do that, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of feedback on this rally build that I'm doing on the 790 Adventure. I absolutely love it. Everything I've done so far, the tower, the double take adventure mirrors, all the different lighting. You could check out the playlist that I created for this thing, but I really love this bike. It's so much fun to ride off-road, and just having a blast with it. We probably rode around yesterday a couple hundred miles, but yeah, fun. Anyhow, today we're going to be working on the Norden. As I said previously, you can see I've got the center or the stand set up, the triple tree, and the rear. We got a few things. I love the setup so much on the 790 that we're going to do the exact same thing. Intake and mid-pipe, aero mid-pipe on the engine side of things. With that being said, this one will be considerably noisier because I have a wings exhaust on it already. So taking that mid-pipe, the stock mid-pipe out of there is probably going to be a little bit obnoxious, but I guess we'll wait and see. Then the other thing I got from Raid Garage, they sent over a skid plate. Now, if you've never been on their website before, you're going to find this deal kind of odd, I guess you would say, because it doesn't seem like it's priced correctly. But it is, in fact, priced correctly because they sent it to me for that price. But you get all of these tools, like these tire spoons and these adapters for taking off axle nuts and whatnot, along with this emergency side stand if you don't have a center stand to do like tire repair and whatnot. However, this kit was only $200, and it's a modular kit. Obviously, you have to assemble it and go through the instructions on the Raid Garage website. It does not list, if I remember right, that this fits on a Norden. So, and especially mine, because I have the GB crash bars. So I think it'll clear, but it's hard to tell from just looking at it on the table. So I think what we're going to end up doing today is starting with the aero mid pipe, because I'm going to have to take the skid plate off anyways to get to that, and then we'll just work our way up into the intake section of the bike. I will keep you guys updated along the way. I'm not going to do a time lapse. Once again, there's a million videos out there for time lapse or installation instructions for these products, so that's not going to help you at all. But if anything odd or different or something that might be helpful to other Norden owners comes up, I will let you guys know about that. But here we go. Okay guys, we got the original canister out, and if you follow the instructions that come with the aero mid pipe, you're not going to have any problems. It's pretty straightforward. The only thing they don't cover is the center stand. Now you'll be removing the bolt from this side, obviously, to get the kickstand down and out of the way for that bolt that's in there that supports it. But to get the canister out, just flip the center stand down and it'll drop right out. It shouldn't be an issue. You don't have to take the center stand off completely. But yeah, now I got to bolt everything back together, and then we'll start assembling the Raid Garage skid plate. And there is a video for that at the Raid Garage website. So here we go. Okay guys, I got the Raid Garage skid plate assembled, and we're at the point where we're going to test it on the Norden to see if it actually fits. Now, a couple things that are different from what they asked you to do in the video. I am not installing the tools that sit here. I'm actually gonna probably, I won't need this because I have center stands on both bikes, but I'll probably add this to my tool kit on my 790 because that's the one that goes off-road. Also, there are these, I don't know what you want to call it, thumb screws that normally go right here. I just put permanent bolts in there. The idea behind those is that this plate, this side plate, can actually come off, and there's a spot here to attach like a tool bag or whatever you want to put here via these Velcro strips that come with it. I'm not putting anything on this because the Norden is my street bike, and I think I'm going to keep it like that and then keep the 790 for my off-road slash adventure riding. But now we're going to test fit these to see if they fit on the Norden, and then the ultimate test will be to see if the GV engine guards or crash guards will fit along with this. I'm pretty sure it will, but I'm not 100% confident. Like I said, the Raid Garage website does not list this for the Norden, so there must be some difference I'm not seeing, but so far I haven't seen it yet. Alright guys, it does fit on the Norden. The only difference would be if you have GV engine guards, it just kisses the engine guard right there. So what I did is I went through with some edge guard that I had, and on both sides, God, that's really hard to see. On both sides, I just went around and put a nice piece of edge guard on there. It actually makes it look really nice. But it fit on there the original way. I just had everything loosened up, and I was able to just go through there and tighten everything back down, put the original hardware back on, and it fits perfect. The only other thing I had to do was there is a slip-in plate inside there. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this. Anyhow, I had to bend that up a bit. You see it right there? It's just a tab that slides into this. I had to bend that up a bit to get it to go in there. And I don't know why GV or Raid Garage has you do it this way, but that's just the way they have you do it. They have you put the original bump stops on the back end there, and then it, I guess if you think about it, if you hit a rock and slide on it or something, it basically protects your center stand. It kind of ramps down towards your center stand there, which is kind of neat. But yeah, it fits on a Norden, and their website doesn't list it on a Norden. I don't know, maybe they don't get the Nordens in the Czech Republic. But yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. And it was $200 plus they had a coupon code that was active for 20% off. So, I mean, you can't beat that. This is like a $500 skid plate that comes with all these extra tools. That's crazy. Anyhow, now we're going to move on to the time-consuming Rottweiler Airbox Pro. This takes some time to do, so well, I've never done this on, I've never taken the Norden apart down to that point, but I did it on the 790. It wasn't too bad, so I guess we're gonna find out how bad it is here on the Norden. Here we go. Well guys, here we are. We got the old airbox out, and you'll see I have a Rottweiler power plate. I don't even remember when I put that on. But yeah, it's kind of filthy, so it's a good thing we're changing this out right now. Now it's time to put the new and improved airbox back in the bike after a little bit of a cleanup here. Well, we're moving right along. Almost there. Got the airbox in, and now we're going to start reassembling the subframe and the wiring harness and all that fun stuff. So on a 23 Norden, here's a modification that you have to make to get this airbox to fit. You see how the air sensor is like right here, kind of jammed in this area? Well, this bracket normally sits like this behind this little opening here, and then you run a bolt and this washer through there, and so it basically, you can't put that bracket on there. So basically what I did is I just cut it here, left the tube section of it right there, and then tightened it here at the correct orientation. This is just for the plastic side panels anyway, so just something to make a note of. Make sure that this wire isn't getting pinched or you crush it by bolting this all together and this thing just squeezes like crazy and snaps that sensor off. You don't want to do that. Anyhow, we'll keep moving forward. Well guys, there we are. We got everything reinstalled except for the seats. We're gonna pull the work stand out, and then of course you guys always want to know what it sounds like. Although I will say this, no microphone is ever going to capture the same sound that you would hear in person. So the microphones get drowned out after a certain amount of decibels. But I will do that. Let me get this all set up, put the seat back on, and then we'll do that. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is going to be really loud. Yeah, that's a bit louder. Goodness gracious, that's ridiculous. I might have to put a silencer in that wing's exhaust. That thing is obnoxious as all sin. I think that's probably going to be it for this episode, guys. If you like this episode, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed yet, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. As always, you're going to want to stay tuned. You never know what's coming up on this channel. And if you think this is the end, it never really is, because there's always something that I'm going to be working on that I love to share with you guys. But other than that, I hope you guys are staying safe, taking care of each other. And as always, I will catch you next time. See you later. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, I went out for a test ride, and I wanted to include this short part of the video just to give you guys some feedback. The bike rips. However, there was quite a bit of vibration coming from the skid plate because it's touching the engine guards, and it was touching something else on here. I can't remember what it was. Anyhow, I basically just used my hands and bent the skid plate in a bit so it's not touching the engine guards anymore. And I took that slider off and I put the original rubber mounts back in and used the little spacer and then the bolts that came with the kit. So I basically took all that slider stuff off to install it. So it installs the same way as the OEM skid plate. And then I removed all of the other hardware that was unnecessarily on there. And then I had to move one bolt to clear the exhaust header. And as you can see, it's right there. So anyhow, got all that taken care of. And I did that on both sides. So on this side, it was touching right here, and so I bent it a little bit, and now it seems to be fine. Now it seems rock solid, but the bike is just a rocket ship now. That really opened up a whole lot of horsepower all throughout the RPM range, from down low all the way up to the top, and it's not as loud as I thought it was going to be, so big bonus both ways. But other than that, you guys already heard my outro, so I'll catch you next time. See you later. Bye-bye.